the stillness of a crisp autumn evening, Anna found herself surrounded by the warm glow of campfire embers. A laughter and chatter of her friends echoed around the lakeside, but her mind wandered elsewhere. She gazed into the flickering flames. Whispers from her friends piqued her curiosity, a tale that had traveled through generations like wisps of smoke in the night. They spoke of the crying man, a ghostly figure known to wander near water sources, his sorrowful wails haunting those who dared to listen. Legends told how he wept for lost loves and unfulfilled dreams, and that encountering him could foreshadow personal tragedy. The tales were shrouded in mystery, each version colored by fear or fascination. Laya sat beside her, munching on a marshmallow with casual indifference. He chuckled at the eerie stories being shared. Folklore was simply an amusing distraction for him. His skepticism danced like shadows around their campfire. Each laugh and dismissive comment only fueled Anna's intrigue further. Darkness enveloped them. Anna felt drawn to explore more about this spectral figure. Her heart raced at the thought of uncovering what lay behind those ghostly tears. He imagined standing face to face with the crying man. Would he share his story, or would she become just another witness to his sorrow, with a determined gleam in her eye? Anna turned to Elias, eager to engage him in playful debate over legends versus reality. However, Elias merely shrugged off her enthusiasm as childish fancy, the kindling of a fire, ignited only in her imagination. Conversation ebbed and flowed around them as others chimed in with their own tales, sightings near secluded ponds or encounters that left lingering unease in their hearts. But Anna remained focused on unraveling this enigma. If there was truth hidden within those whispers, she needed to discover it for herself. After hours spent under a blanket of stars and stories exchanged around the fire's gentle warmth, exhaustion settled into their bones like soft moss upon stones. Laughter faded into sleepy murmurs and eyelids grew heavy with dreams yet unclaimed. Anna's resolve solidified. She would seek out the crying man during one of her solitary explorations by moonlight. With every heartbeat echoing against the calm waters nearby, she drifted into slumber filled with thoughts of what awaited her under a silvery sky illuminated by stars that seemed to whisper secrets all their own. So began Anna's journey, a quest intertwined with curiosity and empathy, where legends blurred into reality beneath the watchful gaze of nature's embrace. The moon hung high in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the secluded pond where Anna often sought solace. He had spent countless nights by this water's edge, pondering life's mysteries and embracing nature's whispers. It felt different. A heavy anticipation lingered in the air. She walked along the water's surface, her heart raced with excitement and trepidation. The tales of the crying man echoed in her mind like an old lullaby, haunting yet enticing. Each step drew her closer to the place where legend and reality intertwined. From the corner of her eye, she caught a glimpse of movement, a shimmering outline danced just beyond the tree line. Each pulse of curiosity urging her forward. He approached cautiously, feeling an inexplicable connection that tugged at her heartstring. There he was, the crying man, his figure ethereal against the night backdrop. He wept silently, tears cascading down his cheeks like drops of rain melding into the lake below. A sight was both eerie and mesmerizing. Anna stood transfixed by his sorrowful presence. Ran through her as she absorbed the scene before her. His sadness resonated within her own soul, pulling at emotions buried deep inside. For reasons unknown to her, she felt compelled to reach out to understand what burdened him so profoundly. Yet something held her back. Fear mingled with empathy created an invisible barrier between them. Much as she longed to approach him and offer comfort, an unsettling certainty gripped her. This wasn't merely a moment meant for interaction, but rather a profound experience meant to be witnessed from afar. The cries echoed softly across the water, as if reverberating through time itself. That silence broken only by his weeping, Anna found herself reflecting on loss, the inevitability that shadows every human experience. Memories danced in flashes before her eyes, moments shared with loved ones now gone, fleeting happiness overshadowed by lingering grief. Emotion crashed over Anna, As she stood rooted to the spot, a blend of compassion for this lost spirit and reflection on her own life choices swirled within her mind like autumn leaves caught in a breeze. Did he hold? What stories were hidden behind those sorrowful eyes? Just then, as if sensing her turmoil, he turned slightly toward Anna, just enough for their gazes to meet across that haunting expanse of water separating them. That instant, everything shifted. Time seemed suspended as understanding flowed between them without words or sound. Only his pain, but also echoes of love, once cherished, a past filled with warmth now obscured by despair. Connection transcended their worlds, bridged realms seen and unseen, inviting Anna deeper into his story, while urging caution about dwelling too long in sorrow. Moonlight flickered upon their silhouettes, dancing on shimmering waves beneath it all. He knew this encounter would haunt, but inspire change within herself, a reminder that even amidst profound sadness lay lessons about cherishing those who remain dear, while honoring those lost forevermore. As quickly as it began, their silent communion waned under clouds drifting overhead, an omen perhaps, simply nature's way reminding them both that every moment is ephemeral, a fleeting breath carried away into eternity like whispers riding gentle winds across archened skies, with regret tugging at heartstrings entwined tightly around memories forged from fragility itself, yet intertwined deeper still with hope rising anew amid shadows thickening steadily around them both. She took a step back and turned away, gently but not without looking back one last time at this figure, wreathed elegantly amidst layers upon layers, shrouded dimly under nightfall's embrace. The crying man remained there alone beneath starlit skies, reflecting tears glistening softly against depths uncharted below. In days ahead would come questions unanswered, swirling violently alongside fears arising anew, yet tonight had woven threads tighter than ever before, connecting lives together far beyond earthly. Defined through time itself. The days passed. Anna could not shake the feeling that she was destined to encounter the crying man again. Each time she closed her eyes, visions of his sorrowful figure surfaced within her mind, his tears shimmering like droplets of moonlight upon still water. A lake's serene beauty belied the haunting tales surrounding it, yet a magnetic pull urged her forward. With the sun dipping below the horizon and painting the sky in hues of violet and gold, Anna felt an overwhelming urge to visit the secluded pond once more. He had spent hours considering old man Grayson's stories, and felt compelled to confront whatever truths lay hidden beneath layers of folklore. Elias had reluctantly agreed to accompany her on this expedition, but remained skeptical about what they might find. They walked along the familiar path. Echoes of laughter from their friends faded into distant memories. The air thickened with anticipation. Each rustle of leaves seemed amplified in the growing twilight. Upon reaching the edge of the pond, Anna's heart raced. A world around them fell silent, as if nature itself held its breath in reverence for what was to unfold. Shadows danced across the water's surface, flickering reflections teasing both excitement and dread within her spirit. Anna stepped closer, drawn by an invisible thread to where she had last witnessed his pain. He shared a glance with Elias, a fleeting moment filled with unspoken thoughts, and then turned towards the murky depths before her. Night settled in. A chilling breeze swept through the trees, carrying whispers that seemed woven from countless sorrows, the very essence of loss lingering in every sighing branch and rippling wave. That she saw him, an ethereal outline emerging from behind a veil of mist. A crying man stood at the water's edge, weeping silently as glistening tears cascaded down his cheeks like rain gently kissing earth after a long drought. His presence evoked both fear and compassion within Anna. It struck deep chords within her soul that resonated with echoes of heartbreak. With trepidation mingling with resolve, Anna took another step forward while Elias hesitated behind her, his rational mind grappling with disbelief, amidst undeniable emotions swirling around them like shadows weaving through dusk. Understand this spectral figure, whose grief connected them all, a bridge between realms intertwined by love lost. That moment, something shifted. She could feel their shared sadness binding them together through time's fragile tapestry, a testament to lives lived and loves abandoned or taken too soon. Struggling against instinctive fear urging caution and retreat, Anna called out softly towards him, not as an intruder, but rather as someone who bore witness to pain's profound weight. Yet words eluded her grasp as she tried to articulate compassion for a stranger cloaked in sorrow, an embodiment of anguish echoing throughout generations past. Suddenly he turned toward her. Their eyes met amid shimmering darkness. The ghostly figure gazed deep into Anna's being, revealing layers upon layers of untold stories, wrapped tightly within those haunting irises, reflecting shimmering pools, reminiscent of tears kissed by moonlight. That memories began unraveling before her mind's eye. A glimpse into his tragic past unfolded slowly like petals unfurling beneath gentle rays at dawn. Lost love steeped in longing intertwined eternally, with regret whispered through every droplet cascading down his face. A tale sung softly amongst night creatures, serenading secrets known only under starlit skies filled with wonder yet hinged bittersweetly by loss endured over lifetimes long gone now but ever present still. Each tear he shed connected threads woven throughout hearts entwined across lifetimes. They spoke not merely tragedy, but also resilience, the strength found even amidst despair when love transcended boundaries between worlds tangible yet elusive. In this moment filled with poignant clarity, shared between two souls touched by grief boundless enough to shape destinies anew, the days passed like whispers in the wind, carrying with them an unsettling air of change. Anna wandered through her routines, yet her thoughts remained tethered to that fateful night by the pond. The image of the crying man haunted her dreams, a bittersweet reminder of both connection and loss. With each passing moment, she found herself increasingly aware of the fragility of life. Conversations with friends felt charged with unspoken fears. Laughter echoed hollowly against the backdrop of what they could lose. Anna longed for clarity, but felt ensnared in a web of uncertainty. Noon, seeking solace, she turned to Sarah, her grandmother, who had once shared tales woven from memory and myth. Answers regarding her own encounter. Anna ventured into the warmth of their family home, filled with familiar scents and echoing laughter from years gone by. Sunlight streamed through the kitchen window, illuminating dust motes dancing softly in the air. Anna gently broached the subject that lingered heavily on her heart. Sarah listened intently as Anna spoke of her experience, how she stood before a ghost clad in sorrow, beneath the silver glow of moonlight. Sarah's eyes darkened as memories flooded back the way. Shadows stretched across her childhood by that very lake house where they spent summers together. How she too had seen him once long ago, a fleeting glimpse that foreshadowed lost the illness that would soon befall Anna's grandfather. Anna's breath caught in her throat as she absorbed this revelation. Echoes of fear reverberated within her mind and heart. How could something so beautiful also carry such weighty significance? The idea began to settle inside like a stone, a reminder intertwined with love lost, but also love cherished. And amid this heaviness came an unexpected comfort, an understanding forged through generations bound by shared experiences, and whispers carried through time itself. Merely victims to fate's cruel hand, they were partakers in life's intricate tapestry, a blend of joy and sadness woven tightly together. Days morphed into weeks, and as autumn leaves crumbled beneath like fragile dreams discarded carelessly underfoot. Strange occurrences began to ripple throughout their town, a series of unfortunate events entangling loved ones around them in ways previously unimaginable. Those who had always held steadfastly to rationality found himself shaken one evening after witnessing an incident involving someone he deeply cared about. His skepticism faltered. Perhaps folklore held more truth than he dared admit. Together with Anna, they embarked on another quest, one driven not just by curiosity, but by urgency to uncover deeper truths behind the crying man's legend. Their investigation led them back to Old Man Grayson, a keeper of stories etched into his weathered skin and lined face adorned with wrinkles resembling paths walked long ago. Days lay wisdom born from ages past. Each word spoken dripped like honey pressed from hives nurtured tenderly over decades. They gathered around him one chilly evening beside flickering lantern light, casting gentle shadows on their faces. Grayson recounted tales anew, the origins shrouded in tragedy surrounding lost love entwined intricately within nature's embraced near water's edge where souls meet unseen forces beyond comprehension itself. Each story unfurled like petals revealing haunting beauty, marked forevermore by grief lingering just beneath the surface, all interconnected threads binding past pain, seamlessly alongside present uncertainties, whispering warnings lightly. Upon windswept nights filled only silence, broken occasionally through murmurs drifting aimlessly toward elusive horizons, yet undiscovered. So it was that amidst this unfolding tapestry, woven intricately between lives, lived fully yet marked forevermore with longing unsaid, did hope begin rising slowly like dawn blooming softly upon dew-kissed meadows, awakening anew. These moments shared under starry skies illuminated brightly above, while secrets nestled close deep within hearts yearning relentlessly onward seemed clear. Although shadows lurked ominously nearby awaiting chance encounters unforeseen, they must not dwell solely on despair, but rather embrace life fiercely while honoring those who remain dear, even when faced inevitably with loss. I felt renewed purpose igniting within a desire, not merely to understand legends passed down through generations, but also learn how best honor those departed, without succumbing entirely darkness threatening always encroach if left unchecked. Or now rested choices calling forth courage, wrapped tightly around hope shimmering boldly like stars dotting expansive universe overhead beckoning everyone forward toward brighter tomorrows still awaiting discovery. In the quiet aftermath of their encounter, I found herself reflecting deeply on the moments shared with the crying man. A weight of his sorrow lingered in her heart like a soft echo, resonating with her own fears and experiences. Lost loves and fleeting connections, those precious moments that could vanish like mist at dawn. Days unfolded into weeks. Anna became acutely aware of an unsettling change sweeping through her small town. Friends who once laughed freely now wore expressions heavy with worry. Misfortune seemed to ripple through the community like stones dropped into a still pond. Accidents and illnesses struck without warning, leaving families grappling with unforeseen grief. Each story that reached her ears felt as though it echoed from a place not far removed from the crying man's weeping. Lias had started to believe in the legend they once dismissed so lightly. A rationality he held close began to fray at the edges as he witnessed the unfolding tragedies affecting those dear to him, his heart weighed down by concern for people he cherished most. This transformation stirred something deep within Anna. She sensed their bond had evolved from mere friendship into something much more profound, a shared purpose, rooted in understanding loss. Beneath a star-studded sky wrapped in cool autumn air, Anna proposed they return to the pond once again, a final quest driven by desperation to unveil any hidden truths behind these dark omens. Lias nodded solemnly, his skepticism replaced by a tentative hope that perhaps they could uncover answers together. They walked hand in hand along familiar paths leading them back toward where shadows draped themselves thickly over water's edge. It enveloped them like a soft blanket as they neared their destination, hearts beating rhythmically against silence broken only by rustling leaves whispering secrets too fragile for daylight. Upon reaching the secluded pond, illuminated softly under moonlight's gentle touch, they paused momentarily, breathless with anticipation, yet apprehensive about what awaited them there amidst haunting echoes resonating from an unseen past lingering just beyond reach. Then there he was, the crying man stood at his vigil. Once more, ethereal against night's fabric woven intricately around him like delicate lacework spun from dreams and sorrows alike. He was no longer merely an apparition. He embodied all losses suffered, and longings unfulfilled across lifetimes intertwined seamlessly, together forming stories waiting patiently for acknowledgement. I stepped forward cautiously, while Elias remained behind her, tentative yet steady, as if giving space for this connection transcending earthly bounds, filled profoundly, instead, with compassion forged over time spent searching answers both. After yet feared deeply, with each step closer toward his shimmering figure standing resolute before cascading waters reflecting starlight glimmering above, she summoned courage born not out of recklessness, but rather out of yearning, desperately wanting to understand, to heal wounds felt both far away, yet painfully intimate, now breathing life anew within them. And then it happened. Their eyes met amid swirling darkness, the connection igniting memories forgotten long ago, danced vividly before her mind's eye, revealing threads that bound them tightly across dimensions forgotten, even or overlooked, until this very moment. Everything converged into clarity, shattering despair's grip upon fragile lives entwined forevermore. Shed gently like rain upon parched earth, came whispers carried softly on winds, stirring warm embers glowing brightly within hearts aching still. Love, lost, intertwined beautifully alongside resilient, shaped silently through. Pain endured, bearing witness, eternally etched onto souls wandering paths familiar yet uncharted, alike seeking solace, found only amongst kindred spirits united by shared journeys forged underneath stars, watching closely illuminating shadows. Casting light ever so tenderly upon fragility itself, reminding all present how vulnerability reveals strength, unexpected, hidden beneath layers, carefully curated throughout time, willingly stripped bare, exposing rawness embraced wholly. Fear nor reservation. Revelations poured forth amidst newfound understanding, coursing through veins, pulsing fervently alive, still in that twilight hour, suspended gracefully between realms. They understood that witnessing loss did not mean succumbing. Utterly, it signified embracing beauty present, even amidst anguish, calling upon us constantly savor those moments shared here. And now, never forgetting, love remains vibrant, always unfurling endlessly alongside memories cherished, glowing warmly. Against darkness, daring each soul touched profoundly, ignite flames burning brightly, forging bonds deeper than sorrow alone might yield, proving life continues, weaving threads bright despite shadowy tales whispered among trees swaying. Quietly nearby, beckoning kindness flowing freely, where grief transforms eventually into strength, nurturing hope reborn anew, in the stillness of a crisp autumn night. Anna stood at the water's edge, a full moon casting an ethereal glow over the secluded pond. Trepidation mixed with determination filled her heart as she prepared to confront the crying man once more. Grappling with visions of his sorrowful figure since their last encounter, a haunting reminder that life's fragility was woven into its beauty. A chill in the air felt electric, every rustle of leaves echoing her mounting anxiety. Memories rushed back, old man Grayson's stories about love lost and fate intertwined, Sarah's cautionary tales about encounters that foretold impending tragedy. At tonight, Anna felt compelled to seek understanding rather than succumb to fear. Perhaps it was time for her to bridge the distance between them, to connect through compassion. She stepped closer to the shimmering water. A gentle breeze whispered through the trees, carrying echoes of ancient tales woven into nature itself. The surface mirrored her own anxious reflection, a delicate balance between light and dark dancing beneath ripples stirred by unseen forces. And she saw him, the crying man, his figure emerging from shadows cast upon the water like smoke swirling upward into night sky. He stood there weeping silently as tears flowed freely down his pale cheeks, merging seamlessly with droplets kissing earth below. Each tear shimmered under moonlight, a testament to grief long endured. And his heart raced as a wave of empathy washed over her. Another cautious step forward, feeling an invisible thread tethering them together across realms intertwined by sorrow and love lost. Despite instinct urging hesitation, she yearned for connection, to understand this man whose pain resonated within every fiber of her being. That moment, he turned slightly toward her. Their eyes met across water, glistening softly under starlit skies. A profound silence enveloped them both like an embrace steeped in unspoken truth. Time slowed as emotions intertwined amidst flickering memories replayed behind those haunted irises, memories yearning for release, yet bound forever within walls built from loss. Felt layers unravel before her mind's eye, a glimpse into his past unfolded like petals unfurling at dawn, revealing heart-wrenching tales, steeped deeply within longing left unfulfilled. Each tear told stories not merely confined by earthly limitations, but rather reflecting lives lived fully even when marred by tragedy beyond comprehension itself. He sensed echoes vibrating between them, resonating threads binding hearts entwined across lifetimes, traveled long ago yet intimately familiar, now shared anew under celestial watchfulness above. With each heartbeat echoing through time, itself came recognition born from depths, untapped the strength found amidst despair, where hope continued rising unwaveringly, despite shadows lurking nearby, always waiting patiently just outside. Unseen, Anna understood then. This man did not solely signify impending doom, but also served as reminder about cherishing connections forged throughout existence, while honoring those departed who shaped their lives irrevocably. The bond they shared transcended mere interaction, became communion rooted in empathy and understanding that loss must coexist with love lest darkness overwhelm everything once cherished deeply beneath veils spun tightly around fragile hearts beating, fervently against odds stacked high upon mortal shores. And so it was that standing there beside glimmering waters kissed tenderly by moonlight illuminating paths previously shrouded remained one undeniable truth. Life would inevitably lead toward sorrow, equally offered opportunities for growth through embracing relationships cherished fiercely, even when faced ultimately with inevitability entangled intricately within fate's hand, as clouds drifted overhead blocking fleeting glimpses, sunlight filtering gently upon all gathered here tonight slowly began fading away in quiet surrender, leaving only soft whispers lingering faintly upon breeze, threading softly onward into tomorrow. Patiently ahead, ever hopeful brighter days still awaited discovery, with newfound resolve and clarity filling spaces long untouched deep within herself, anchored firmly surrounded only by solace nestled close against silent sighs. Gaping lips parted ever so slightly opened wide inviting possibilities, yet unknown reaching forth bravely, onward fueled now immensely stronger than fears threatening always encroach if left unchecked in the stillness of the night. Anna stood at the water's edge, her heart racing as she prepared to confront the crying man once more. A moon hung high above, casting a silvery glow that danced upon the surface of the pond. You could feel the weight of emotions swirling around her, an energy that thrummed with anticipation and fear. She approached. Memories flooded her mind, the tales from old man Grayson and her grandmother Sarah echoed like whispers in her ears. Of love lost, of mourning intertwined with remembrance. This was not just a figure shrouded in sorrow. He was a vessel carrying centuries of grief, yearning for connection amidst his haunting solitude. A moment came when their eyes met across the shimmering expanse of water. His gaze, Anna saw profound sadness mingled with fleeting reflections of joy, the kind one only glimpses in cherished memories long past. His tears glistened under moonlight like precious gems falling into an endless abyss. Flashes of his story unfolded before her mind's eye, a tragic tale woven into the very fabric of his being. He had loved deeply once. There had been laughter and warmth shared beneath sunlit skies. Yet fate had dealt him a cruel hand, his beloved taken away too soon, leaving only echoes of what once was. I felt a deep ache resonate within her chest as she bore witness to his pain. Her own experiences, the losses that shaped her existence, and filled her thoughts with longing. This moment of vulnerability, their souls touched across realms. Words became unnecessary as understanding flowed between them like ripples across the pond. He realized then that he did not merely weep for himself, but for all those who suffered loss throughout time, a collective memory that echoed through every tear shed. This wasn't just about impending doom. It carried lessons about cherishing life while honoring those who had departed. With newfound clarity washing over her like gentle waves lapping at shorelines untouched by despair, I stepped forward into the moonlit embrace, willing to offer comfort, even if only silently shared through unspoken bonds forged by empathy itself. Then something shifted again. Hope began to bloom within those depths shadowed previously by anguish alone, as they both stood poised on precipices defined neither by fear nor suffering, but rather resilience born out from shared experiences etched forevermore into hearts entwined tightly against darkness looming nearby, yearning always ignite flames burning brightly toward brighter tomorrows yet unseen. In this sacred space where time folded gently around them, the crying man no longer appeared merely tragic, but transformed instead into guardian watching faithfully over lives, lived fully grieving alongside every soul wandering paths familiar, yet uncharted alike, seeking solace found amidst kinship. Warming connections resilient enough withstand trials faced together, illuminating shadows casting light tenderly upon fragility, reminding all present how vulnerability reveals strength unexpected layered gracefully throughout existence. Self-unyielding despite nature's inevitable passage. As moment lingered suspended between breaths drawn closely together, their hearts synchronized in rhythm resonating harmoniously amid silence, enveloped warmly beneath star-studded skies, they understood they would carry forward what lay hidden deep within each other, offering warmth, even when faced inevitably with loss. With quiet resolve stirring inside herself, newly awakened, determined spirit brimming boldly forth. Sensing possibilities abound, flourishing beautifully reflected back onto waters, shimmering brightly, inviting futures. embrace eagerly awaiting discovery anew even amid uncertainties yet undiscovered. In the aftermath of her encounter with a crying man, Anna found herself enveloped in a blanket of introspection. The image of his sorrowful figure haunted her dreams, intertwining with her own experiences of loss and love. Unshakable connection to him, a bond forged through shared grief that echoed within her heart. Days turned into weeks. A peculiar shift swept through her small town, casting a shadow over the vibrant laughter that once filled its streets. Friends who had always been carefree now wore expressions heavy with worry. Misfortune seemed to ripple through their lives like pebbles cast into still waters. Illnesses and accidents struck without warning, leaving families grappling with unexpected grief that lingered like an unwelcome guest. Elias, once a steadfast skeptic, found himself questioning everything he thought he knew. His rational beliefs began to fray at the edges as he witnessed the unfolding tragedies affecting those dear to him. Each event weighed heavily on his heart, serving as a reminder of how quickly life could change. The fragility of existence became ever more apparent. Beneath a canopy of stars twinkling against the dark velvet sky, Anna gathered the courage to speak about returning to the pond. This time she wouldn't just seek answers. She would confront whatever truths lay hidden within that sacred space, urged forward by desperation and hope intertwined. Together with Elias, they traversed familiar paths leading back toward where shadows draped themselves thickly over water's edge. Silence enveloped them like a soft shroud as anticipation built within their hearts. Every rustle in the trees seemed amplified in this growing twilight. Upon reaching their destination, the secluded pond shimmering softly under moonlight, they paused momentarily. Memories flooded Anna's mind. Tales spun by old man Grayson about lost loves intertwined with nature's whispers echoing from ages past. The air was thick with expectation, charged with emotions both familiar and foreign. Then they saw him. The crying man stood at his vigil once more, ethereal against night's backdrop painted in shadows and silver light. He wept silently, tears cascading down his cheeks like drops merging seamlessly into the depth below, a haunting yet mesmerizing sight. I felt compelled to step closer, while Elias hung back slightly tentative, but resolute, his skepticism overshadowed by burgeoning belief, shaped through recent events surrounding them both. With each breath deepened amidst rising apprehension, she summoned courage born not out recklessness, but rather from an unwavering desire for understanding, to connect across realms bound tightly together by sadness and love lost. She approached this enigmatic figure standing alone beneath celestial watchfulness above time, seemed suspended between breaths shared silently across distances, marked only by sorrow lingering painfully, yet beautifully all around them. Two locked eyes amid swirling darkness. Their gazes met across rippling waters reflecting starlight glimmering softly overhead. A profound silence enveloped them both like an embrace steeped in unspoken truths awaiting discovery birth. Knew outwards into tomorrow waiting patiently ahead, when dawn would break illuminating possibilities, yet unknown reaching forth bravely, onward fueled now immensely stronger than fears threatening always encroach if left unchecked. And then it happened. I felt layers unravel before her mind's eye. A glimpse into his tragic past unfolded slowly like petals unfurling beneath gentle rays at dawn, revealing heart-wrenching tales steeped deeply within longing left unfulfilled, as memories danced vividly behind haunted irises, reflecting shimmering pools reminiscent of tears kissed tenderly by moonlight. With newfound clarity coursing through veins pulsing fervently alive still in that twilight hour, suspended gracefully. Between realms they understood. Loss did not mean succumbing entirely. It signified embracing beauty present even amidst anguish, calling upon us constantly savor those moments shared here. And now never forgetting love remains vibrant always, unfurling endlessly. Alongside memories cherished glowing warmly against darkness, daring each soul touched profoundly ignite flames burning brightly, forging bonds deeper than sorrow alone might yield, proving life continues weaving threads bright despite. Shadowy tales whispered among trees swaying quietly nearby, beckoning kindness flowing freely, where grief transforms eventually into strength, nurturing hope reborn anew. That realization came acceptance not merely of what had been lost, but also recognition regarding what remained invaluable, despite inevitable farewells looming ever closer, awaiting all souls enduring life's fragile tapestry woven intricately throughout lifetimes, threaded tightly together, forged passionately against odds stacked high upon mortal shores. And so it was standing there beside glimmering waters, kissed tenderly by moonlight illuminating paths previously routed, remained one undeniable truth. Life would inevitably lead toward sorrow, equally offered opportunities for growth through embracing relationships cherished fiercely, even when faced ultimately with inevitability entangled intricately within fate's hand. As clouds drifted overhead, blocking fleeting glimpses, sunlight filtering gently upon all gathered here tonight slowly began fading away, leaving only soft whispers lingering faintly upon breeze, threading softly onward into tomorrow, waiting patiently ahead, ever hopeful brighter days still awaited discovery.